a trolley outside, sir, right? She said she'd look after it, sir, the young lady did. Take care, like. Is this where I sit, sir? On this chair here? And after, sir, I can eat as much as I want, you said, sandwiches and such, sir, much as I want. And take some home with me, sir. Just asking. Take some? Thank you, sir. Very generous, sir. Oh, yes, thank you, sir. Very comfortable, sir. This is the thingamajig survey, you said. Yes? About homelessness and that, you said. Only to, there's been a mistake. I ain't homeless, sir. I just don't live nowhere. I travel, see. How those homeless people live, you mean? So I don't know about they folk. You see on the high street and that, the one begging with a coffee cup on the ground in front of them. Someone told me they all on drugs, all the drink, sir. And that's why they want the money. Well, if they is, good luck to them. You see, sir, that's what I said, good luck to them. And if that's what it takes to get them through, sir, I dare say they got their problems, sir. So good luck to them, sir, I says. No, not just in Andover, sir. It goes all over. Stockbridge, Romsey, even right down to Southampton, sir. Though not so often. And not so friendly in Southampton. Not so friendly at all, sir. Oh yes, sir, Winchester's nice, but they all stuck up there. Oh, no offence, sir. I didn't know you from Winchester, sir. No, I don't use those shelters, sir, because they won't let me take my trolley in, and they're full of thieves, so I can't leave my stuff or some bugger will pinch it. Oh, beg your pardon, sir. Oh yes, yes. The places will feed you, sir, good grub, and they don't charge for it neither. Just as well, sir, because I don't hold with money, leads me into trouble, money does, trouble, sir. Oh, I makes out all right, badgers and such hedgehogs, it's good eating, sir, and I got my regulars, sir. I know where I can put my head down for the night, get a meal sometimes. Some folks still stick to the old ways, sir. They won't let a wanderer starve. Sometimes I even get to sit down indoors to eat, sir. One lady, a lady vicar, she is. Imagine that, sir, a lady vicar. She lets me eat with her family, sir. Pardon, sir? Oh, lots of lady vicars now. Lord, how things do change, sir. Eh? How do they do change? Fancy that. Used to ask me if I'd like a bath too, sir. A bath, I always say no. No, not good for you, that bathing lark, sir. They let in germs, bathing do. But proper Christians, some folks still, yes sir, some's not mine, some has dogs, sir. Big ones too. I keep clear of these, sir. Oh yeah, well clear, sir. Oh, I sleeps in barns and garages and sheds and such, sir. Under the hedgerows come sometime if it's dry. No, not on the big road, sir. Too noisy, they big roads is. All they folk rushing around, sir, in fancy cars and that. Where do you suppose they all going, sir? Well then, they misses out then, don't they, sir? They misses out of the nature, sir. The trees and the wildflowers and that. They just goes tearing by and they never see what's right under their noses, sir. If you've never sat still, sir, quiet as a tiny field mouse like, and seen a family of roe deer slip out of the trees on a misty morning air, sir, to graze on all the fresh shoots, or watched a lazy old dog fox asleep on a patch of sun while its cubs rough and tumble, sir. Well, that's life, sir. That is. That's life. Sometimes I lays on the bank of the Test, sir, where it comes round by the Mayfly, all full of them, and I slips my hand into the water and watching for a fish to swim up. Fair makes it go numb, sir, but when a nice fat trout nudges up against it, I yucks it out. Well, that makes her fish, sir. Sometimes, like the kitchen staff, sleeps me some leftovers when the boss ain't looking like. How long, sir? I lose track. Must be, well, what year is it now, sir? 2020. Lord, oh the Lord, the days go by, don't they? I must be, will it be 70 so, sir? I was a young man once, sir, so I guess about 40 years or more, maybe more. Oh, I was a lorry driver, sir. All over I went. Started long before they built those motorways, I did, sir. Ruined driving them, did, sir. They weren't no pleasure to it then, just, what do I call it, dead thingies. Deadlines. That's them buggers. Rush here, turn around, go back there. It was all hurry, 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 sir. I got so tired, but I still couldn't sleep, worried about the next day, like, sir. So, I'd have me a little drop of whiskey, relax a bit, just relax, like. Then I started to call in at the pub on the way home, and I always think, I just have a couple. Think, oh, I was just a couple, sir. That's how I lost it all, sir. My wife, my family, my job, everything, sir. All gone. It was a drink, sir. It takes you, sir. It takes you away. It's your best friend, it is. It takes you out of yourself and makes you into someone you're not. And then he loves it, sir. He loves it. Until you don't. And then you hate yourself. And then one near you can blame, sir. Why didn't someone stop me, sir? Well, that's what you think. Why didn't they see? But it's not them, sir, is it? It's you. You does it to yourself, sir. You does it. And they can't stop it, sir. Because you don't want to, and you don't want the cause, because if it starts, what have you got, sir? You got nothing, sir. Nothing left. Oh, I was married, sir. Yes, I was. Oh, she was lovely, sir. My Margaret, my little Mags, I called her. Met her through work. I did, sir. And she was secretary at the transport office when I got took shy into her straight away, I did, sir. Oh, I was shy then, but I plucked up the courage to ask her if she wanted to go to pictures with me, and she said yes. She said yes, and that was it, sir. Oh, of course she didn't like herself, my drinking. Didn't like what it made me. She begged me to stop, sir. Begged me. I couldn't, sir. I tried, sir, but I got so I just couldn't, sir. I walked past the pub without going in, sir, and once I was in, there I stayed, sir. Madge was waiting at home with our little girls, and I was getting drunk, sir. Just getting drunk. And then one night she wasn't. She wasn't waiting. Madge had gone, sir. Taking the girls and just gone. Oh, I don't know, sir. She left me a note. She said she'd tried, and she had, sir. She had tried. Ever so hard. And that made the drinking worse, because what else did I have, sir? What else? Yeah, I lost my job, sir. The governor smelled it on my breath. And one day put me on a warning, then a customer complained and said I was unsteady, slurring the words. The pay packet was waiting for me at the depot when I got back, sir. What did I do? I got drunk, sir. That's what. And I stayed drunk till the money had gone. Lost my house then, sir, because I wasn't paying rent or nothing. I don't know where my bags had gone, sir, and I had nowhere left to go. So I slept in the park, sir, until I was moved on. I scrounged drinks, sir, from a friend's, and I pretend I'd left my wallet at home or I was waiting for the pay. Anything would get me a glass or something. I even started begging, sir, asking for spare change until I got enough for a bottle of cheap booze. I'll tell you when it stopped, sir. It was when I was drunk in St Mary's churchyard in Andover, sir. A group of youngsters was coming along the path, and I asked if they had any change to get me home. Well, one of them took out her purse, and she put some coins in my cap, and she told me to take care. And she ran up to catch up with her friends. I heard one of them ask her why she'd given money to a dirty old drunken tramp who just used it to buy more booze. And do you know what she said, sir? Do you? She said he could have been someone's daddy once. She said that, sir. He could have been someone's daddy. That's when I stopped, sir. That's when I stopped. I got used to sleeping outside by then, so I carried on, sir. And then the next day I was moved on, so I decided to walk to Stockbridge and then to Romsey. And after that I just kept walking, sir. Just kept walking. Oh, it's a good life on the road, sir. I keeps healthy and that. Oh yes, it is lonely, but I always say goodbye to Mags, good night to my girls, wherever they are. I hopes they're safe. I hopes they're happy. I hopes they remembers me. Thank you, sir. Oh, can I have the sandwiches now, sir? Take them now, sir.
Susanna, I know you haven't seen me in. Don't be daft, man. She knows. She knows. Right. Susanna. All right then. Anyone home? Where'll she be then? Where's she? She remembered it. She kept her promise. Oh, she remembered it. answers! Fuck you, Justice Alderson! And fuck you, Australia! Ah. Oh, Susanna! There'll be no more waltzing Matilda from me! I'm free! I've got my certificate of freedom, I'm free, and I'm home like I said I would be! Oh yeah, that's what I'm gonna say, that's what I'm gonna say. When Susanna gets home, I'm gonna say, Susanna, I'm home. Just like I said I would. She'll say, what will she say? She'll say, what? What if Susanna don't recognise me? Oh, well, 8 years is not long, is it, Susanna? Not much has changed. Soil still chalky, Wayhill Fairground still selling sheep, Andover Canal still shipping. Yes, that narrow boat captain, Becky, she recognised me. Oi, I know you, she said. Ain't you Rob Miller? I am, I said. 8 years gone and she still knew me, working for her pa she was. You did right by us, she said. Stopping them swing thieves, busting down my nan's shop. I kept my mouth shut. Her nan probably paid us not to bust her up. A lot of people did back then, didn't help taskers much. Where are you headed, Whale? I said. She laughed. You Hampshire man. Strong in the arm? You load the coal? I'll give you passage. If you're still here when we reach Andover, I'll pay you a day's wage. Suzanne, after 8 months at sea going out, 8-year work in the Botany Bay docks, and 8 months coming back, you'd think I'd be sick of water. But Test Valley is different. It's all I was dreaming about when I wasn't dreaming about you. The water's so clear, Susanna. The crowfoot flowers are out. Their white petals just floating under the water like stars on a cloudy night. And Susanna, brown trout, those slippery, fat, speckled bodies taking their ease. You try putting your hand on them to catch them and flick of their tail and they're gone. I looked up from the water and there was a kingfisher, close as you please, orange chested, with its blue and white coat on, quick as a flash in the water with a fish. Susanna, in Australia, they got these birds called kookaburra. You know, when they're about, they have this laugh that drills right into your head, it does. But they ain't like our kingfishers. No dandy blue suits for them. Their feathers are black and white, and their becks are dead cruel. I'd seen them when they sent me off to work on farms. Australia don't have forests like here. When I used to go up Cutes to the harvest, I'd pass through a pot of forest with oaks, ash, silver birch. Didn't pay no mind though. Seen them all my life, English forest, cool and sweet. Out there, oh, everything's dry. The trees are tall, thin sticks, and they smell like hospital. Those old oaks upshoot where they got character. You can look at those old blokes and lean up against their rough crack bark, and you can hear history. Yeah. My history. My father's history. And his father before me. My great-grandfather got married under that old oak by the pub. Susanna, that's why I've come home. My family have been living in Appleshaw village for 600 years, and I had to come back. From his son. He can't grow up knowing his father. In Australia, thugs thought I was mad. You can apply for passage, bring your family out, said the warden. Life is good out there. I can own my own farm, Susanna. We can own property. Well, life is hard, but no more harder than it is here. But I can. I promised you. I'd come home. If we got out together. I've had plenty of time to think about what happened. I didn't ask your permission when I put my name on that charter or any of those letters we sent out to the farmers. You begged me to stay out of it. We got what we wanted. A pay rise of 2 shillings. Well, granted, if they hadn't stolen our common land, we wouldn't have asked for anything, but we got cocky. We thought we could rampage through Andover town centre. Thought if we brought down Trasker's Iron Foundry, we'd get our jobs back, Susanna. You were right. And yes, woman, 8 years is a long bloody time to wait to hear me say it. The whole village must have heard me, promising you. We were shouting that loud. And every day, I thank God that you did. When others were dying at sea, or starving on land, I had something to live for. I won't blame you, Susanna, if you've forgotten me. But let me see Joshua. He deserves to meet his pa. Yeah, that's what I say to her. Yeah. See? She's fixed a corner of the fireplace. That's not bad. Wonder who did that job. Better not be that Thomas. He's been chasing her skirts since they were little. She chose me. And look where it got her. Criminal for husband, 2 children hanging onto her skirts. Tom's probably put food on her table, but Susanna's a good girl. 8 years is a long time, but she made me a promise. She put out the chair. Well, that's got half a tonic, right? Well, I wouldn't blame her if she... No. I ripped Thomas's bloody head off. On the old pipe. What's this? She kept a picture of me in the paper. Me in the dock being sentenced. Oh Lord, that's all she's got of me. Oh Lord. I promise I'll be a good man. I'll go to church and work hard and mind my own bloody business. Just bring her back to me. Me boy. Joshua. And the baby she was carrying. I thought it would be easy when I got back in. Right. You've waited 8 years. So I'm gonna wait a while. Promise is a promise, and I promised that I would come home, and I have, Susanna. I'm a man of my word. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say to you. Yeah. Susanna! Susanna! I'm home!
She says. I recoil with embarrassment, but say nothing. I disappear seamlessly into the classroom, sliding into my seat like a slithering eel, hoping upon hope that no one else smells me. My scarlet cheeks burning with the heat of my embarrassment. Mrs. Wood begins the register. Anderson, Brown, with each student responding, "Yes, miss." She closes the register, telling the class to take out their exercise books for the surprise test. Some of the class are daunted by this, but I love tests and challenges. She writes the questions on the blackboard and we begin. 10 minutes later I'm finished, but the rest of the class are still hard at it. I sit, twiddling my thumbs, looking around the room. Then I begin to flick bits of paper around the desk to amuse myself. I'm soon spotted and summoned to the front of the class with my work. After a lecture about my behaviour and some less than complimentary comments about my intelligence, she begins to mark my work. She goes down the page, ticking as she goes. She looks annoyed I'm all right and begrudgingly hands me back the book, saying, "Go back to your seat and read a book." Feeling rather smug, I return and slide into my seat. My mind rushes back to the 1st of May 1966, when our car made its way over the Andover its way to Andover over the Hog's Back. We were shocked to see the snow at that time of year. I never travelled well. I don't know if it was my father's poor driving. He never changes gear, or the combination of chain-smoking parents, or the petrol hanging in the air that caused my constant nausea, but the car journeys were dreaded. However, nothing could dampen my mother's enthusiasm. She always hated living in that flat. Mother had contracted rheumatoid fever as a child. As a result, she had a weakened heart valve, meaning she had difficulty climbing stairs. Plus, she wasn't the most social of beings, so living in a place where you had to pass so many neighbours to enter and exit the building would not have been ideal. It's easy with hindsight to understand my mother. She had this view of the world where she thought that the grass was always green on the other side. Well, this is the catch-22 situation, because as soon as you arrive, you can see the greener grass elsewhere. We arrived at a house which had only been built 6 months before. The council estate was still under construction, the roads muddy, making the car difficult to manoeuvre. Arriving, we rushed around the place, deciding who would have each bedroom. I had the little box room which overlooked the roadside. I could see right along the street from my window. I liked it so much more than my old room. Outside my room in London was a huge tree. Its shadows painted images dark on my wall. My imagination saw these as monsters which frightened the life out of me. My father was a railway worker. We'd moved on the understanding a job at Andover train station would be waiting for him. There was no such job. My father was a hard worker, as he proved in subsequent years, working 12-hour shifts after 7 days a week, but he was a slight man. The only work he could secure was manual labour digging trenches. Within a week he had a frozen shoulder, meaning he could not work at all. This resulted in my mum, who you'll remember had a weakened heart valve, having to do 2 jobs. She worked 9 to 5 in the local Wimpy bar, then sped across town to work 5 to 9 in the local bookies. Needless to say, we didn't see much of Mum. When she arrived home, she was only able to eat and go to bed to recover for the next day. In those days, women didn't earn as much as men, so even by working 2 jobs, we were still unable to pay the bills. By October, our electricity had been cut off. That was 2 months ago. Food was a problem. It wasn't just cooking the food, it was being able to buy the food. In those days there were no food banks. Our cat was also feeling the hunger. So much so that one day Dad had spotted the cat running along the fence with a whole chicken in its mouth. It must have stolen it from someone's kitchen. It didn't take long for Dad to catch the cat, wash the chicken and stick it in the oven. Yes, the cat got a share. When I look back on it now, it seems outrageous. At the time, we just accepted it. Our daily routine had transferred to the realms of the kitchen, the haven of heat coming from the oven. Hours of stilted conversation around the heat, waiting with dread for bedtime to arrive. Trepid thoughts of the torturous night to come. Climbing up the creaking stairs with hot water bottle and candle in hand, warming and shining my way. Along the icy landing, moving quickly, I opened my bedroom door to the frozen room at the end of the corridor. My bedroom door creaks as it opens to reveal the silver grey metal bedstead, wickedly cold, creating a knife-like stabbing pain if you dared to touch it. The pillow lies along the entrance to my icy tomb for the night. Strategically, I slide the hot water bottle down into the bed to the place where my body would lie. I quickly remove my outer garments, placing them in the bed to protect them from the cold. Placing my outside coat over the top of the bed as an eider-down, I slide into my icy tomb. The blistering cold attacks my bare skin, creating an alpine of goose pimples now standing proud all over my body. Shrinking into a ball, I surround the water bottle with my body. I'm determined that no heat will be wasted. I wrap myself even tighter around the bottle until the dampness of the sheets begins to fade. Knowing the heat will soon be gone, I assess the timing for moving the bottle to my stony cold feet. It was now or never, if I wanted to heat my feet and I regain any feeling. My mind screams out loud, "Not too fast!" The balancing manoeuvre is all too practised. Little movement is needed to topple the overcoat to the floor. Too much movement and the whole night would be ruined. Getting out of bed to retrieve the result is a complete loss of heat. This is not a chosen option. Previous attempts had resulted in the coat tumbling on the floor. I employed this over and over again in my mind in slow motion. Once the outer barrier against the painful cold had gone, no sleep would come that night. Sleep was never deep. There was too much at stake. The icy enemy was always there, waiting for your defences to fall. The ideal position was to be curled in a ball with my head completely submerged under the covers. When morning comes, my head emerges slowly into the cold. The windows have a thick layer of ice, and the cold begins to burn my skin. I mull over my choices. Washing in an icy cold bathroom, or washing in the heated water of the communal kitchen. I begin to slip into my clothes, which have been kept warm by my body heat. Then I race downstairs to the heat of the kitchen, where a welcome bowl of porridge results. Gobbling down my breakfast, I brush my hair and teeth, and then off to school I go. The headmistress and her team despised us girls from London, calling us flea-carrying troublemakers. At the school assembly, the Andover pupils were warned to stay away from us. We were all tested when we arrived from London, but the curriculum was unfamiliar to us, so we all failed dramatically or were placed in the bottom set. Not put off. I worked hard. I couldn't wait to move to a higher class, to begin some more challenging work. Despite the problems at home, I seemed to do all right at school. I managed to come first in English, maths, RE, and did well in other subjects too. I was a keen student, eager to learn, but life was to throw me another curveball. I was told I would not be put up in a higher class because my coursework was not as good as two Andover girls. They'd both come 12th in the class exams. To say I was annoyed was an understatement. Whatever I did, I could not win against the prejudice in school, and I joined the ranks of the rebellious. We were often told we'd never amount to anything, so we lived up to our reputation. We went out to shock and annoy. Anything we could do to disrupt, we did. One of my friends was expelled. Most of us had a truancy officer seeking us out. I remember going to the toilet for a fag with one of the Andover girls. I didn't smoke, but it was just to keep her company. And we got caught. The teacher took pains to say to the girl she would never have expected this behaviour from her, and that she should not mix with me, as I would lead her astray. In my adult life, many years later, I went back to education. I proved again and again to myself that I was not stupid. In fact, I excelled in all the courses I took and had a number of very good jobs. My mind drifts back to the shame, the frailty and disappointment, to battling the cold, the feeling of hunger, my clothes, my hair, my body worn down by the blistering cold. That day, that phrase, "You smell," she said. She was right. I was definitely smelling.
I like sitting at this window, watching the world go by. Plenty of pedestrians come by on their way into town and back. Lots of folk and things to see. There was a woman a while back with a double buggy and 3 dogs tied to it. They were more or less pulling her along. Dangerous or what, I ask you. There was a bloke earlier with a walking stick and carrying an umbrella. Not rained all day. How's he going to carry his shopping home with both hands full? Been an interesting day. Number 17 has been out again. He likes to clean his jag, not just at the weekend, but any time it rains, it seems to me. She goes out shopping on foot, the other side of the Andon, comes back with several bags full, then half an hour later they go out in the car. Odd that. 23 was cutting the grass earlier. He started trimming the front edge, but he seems to have thought better of it. He's disappeared round the back somewhere. 25 had a delivery earlier this afternoon, special courier. I couldn't see what it was, but it wasn't a large parcel. 16 had a visitor. I could just see from this bay window if I leaned forward. A young woman in a blue BMW saloon. Very nice. I listened to the radio quite a bit. Not Woman's Hour though, not my thing. And Radio 1 is off the planet. Classic FM can be a bit repetitive. I find so after a while I turn it off. Have a bit of peace and quiet. I got myself lunch. I can wheel myself about the house quite easily most of the time. Downstairs toilet and all that. And Alice left me a sandwich. Cold chicken with chopped peppers and a few pickled gherkins on granary. It was lovely. I made myself a coffee. I usually have a decaf tea, but today I thought I'd be daring and have an invigorating coffee. Not the same as a machine, granted, but then I don't drink enough to make it worthwhile. She should be home soon. Alice. Oh, my lucky sod. Oh, hello, 21, I've got a visitor. Man in a raincoat. Pity they're not in. Went off the weekend on holiday. He's unlucky. Unless he's casing the joint. No, he just walked away, not looking back. Yeah, she's a beautiful girl. Popular girl, always has been. At school, everyone admired her. All the lads chased her. Yeah, I was the lucky one who got her. Not at first, admittedly. I joined the army, was away for a few years, and then one day, much to my amazement, I came home on leave and she sort of found me. Said she loved me. Had always loved me. Then she moved in with the baby. Well, accidents happen. She didn't really love him and got a bit carried away one night, and he didn't love her. She was on her own. And then I come along and, well, that was that as far as I was concerned. Ready-made family. Lovely wife I could only dream about, and someone to come home to. We had a good home, and she didn't have to work. Oh, we didn't have any other kids. I couldn't, apparently. It was a bit tough at times, for her especially. I was away most of the time, being in the armed forces, but we survived. Not so many people on the street now. Oh, number 23's come back. He's clearing away. He hasn't finished the edge. He'll never get things done with that attitude. I wonder what's happened to her. She's usually home by now. Oh, when I was invalided out of the army, things were hard at first. I was very self-focused. I didn't really think about the effect on her. I was trying to survive. They said it was partly my fault for not following the book. But I ask you, I was a serving soldier throwing myself into the job and trying to do my best. You have to take shortcuts occasionally. Things just got a bit out of hand and bang! Suddenly all over. Still water under the bridge. Best not to think about it too much. I have a pension, so I should be grateful. Gina, the girl, left home. We don't see her much. She's got her own life. She has a fella and a baby. He's black like him, so we don't see much of them. Alice says she'd like to go and stay and help out a bit, but I say, what's the point? They got to learn to stand on their own feet like us. We manage without any help, so why shouldn't they? Yeah, she kept herself busy. She got a job to eke things out a bit, joined a few women's clubs, going to the gym. I never realised that keeping fit meant so much to her when we were younger. Of course, I can't do those things anymore. Oh, she tried to tell me to get out and do stuff. Ah, you know how it is. I can't. And that's that. She still swims, plays tennis, somewhere out towards Ludgershall. She's making good progress, I hear, once she took on a new coach. He's a Kiwi, apparently. I'm glad he's not Aussie. I never could warm to them. Too competitive. In an unfriendly way, always putting us Brits down. Whinging poms and all that. Oh, I don't know much about Kiwis, but they take sport seriously. That's okay with me. Yeah, she's still fit and healthy and enjoying that sort of thing, luckily. I wonder what's happened to her. She's usually home by now. Oh, she's still beautiful. Men still find her very attractive. I'm lucky to have her. She don't go out much, just swimming and tennis after work. Mind you, that's five nights a week now. Being disabled, I don't get out much. But I want her to have a full life. We're lucky. We haven't divorced like some people. Never felt we should. Oh, we talk about people who have divorced. She said she'd go to live in Spain if we was divorced. She loves Spain. She joined a Spanish class two years ago to learn the lingo in case we ever have a holiday there, I guess. She's getting on quite well. She was good at French at school, I seem to remember, so obviously languages come easily to her. Me, having travelled in the army, I don't care if I never go abroad again. Everyone spoke English where I was posted. Middle Wallop's far enough for me. Oh, I don't like too much sunshine. Reacted badly to sunshine. I'm not sure about Brits who live permanently out there. You're always hearing about lawbreakers and anti-socials who've gone out there to get away from the law. Well, not my types. She likes to keep on top of things. Everything in order. MOT on a car, insurance, my bus pass, not that I ever use it, renewals and bills paid on time, everything up to date. Keeps her passport renewed. I only got it back 2 days ago. Me, I can't be bothered. She keeps the place tidy, very organised. Now when she left this morning, she took 2 old cases with her, junk from the attic, she said, for the charity shop, stuff we don't use anymore. Last week she posted off a load of her old clothes somewhere abroad. Relief work. I admire her for that. She don't just throw away stuff that someone else might put to good use. Oh, we like to chat when she gets home about all sorts. What's wrong with the world? Why Britain is best? That sort of thing. Yeah, we like to chat about what we're going to do when she's retired. She's given in a notice. Less than a week to go, I think. Exciting. All the things we can do together. I thought we might do something special at the weekend. Maybe go somewhere in a little car. I don't like other people driving me about, but I think she should make the effort for a special occasion. I should say I should make the effort for a special occasion. If we don't go that far, that is, Danebury maybe. She said she may give up playing tennis as her coach is going abroad to live in Spain, actually. Isn't that interesting? I wonder why she's so late. Where can she be? She'll be upset. Tea will be late. Then she'll have to miss her. She'll miss her tennis lesson.
Chloe? Are you there? Chloe? Chloe, please come round. You know I can't see you when you're sitting on the bench. What's happened? You know you feel much better if you tell me. Well, I may just be a statue and not as handsome as David, but much better listener. I can hear you crying, Chloe. I know that's your phone ringing every 2 minutes. You're always on a wretched thing these days. Why do you give it so much attention when there's so many more amazing things in the world to discover? I wish I could put this sundial down and explore. Everyone knows me as the Millennial Man on the account of when I arrived in Andover, but my plaque says I'm the Walking Man. It's pretty ironic when you think about it. Fixed here on the roundabout, at your service, a captive audience to hear your woes. Are you going to tell me what's wrong? You don't know how lucky you are, Chloe. Being human, that is. Walking and breathing and eating and laughing and talking and hugging and kissing and driving and singing and driving and singing. The time looks incredible. I wish I could do that. I love it when the traffic starts to sing, music spilling from windows and soft tops. Pop to opera, smart cars to vans, young, old, suits, overalls, kids in the back, dogs in the front, free hands, drum beats on steering wheels, on tap along on doors. Try to find some happiness, Chloe. You look better at the fireworks the other night, your face all flushed and illuminated by the flashing bright skies. You almost looked elated with your mind emptied. For just a moment, you looked free. I can spot you every year amongst the people on the pavements, cheekily dodging the ticket price, pretending to be just passing. Woolen scarves and hats, pint glasses borrowed from the Anton. My favourites are the dressing gown gang, bare-ankled opportunists clutching their tea mugs and hopping from foot to foot. Fancy seeing you out here, they joke to each other, year after year. Do you remember in October 2018 I was close to seeing the fireworks? You and your giggling friends tried to pull me backwards the week before the show, but it wasn't quite far enough to see. Shame. At least I was easily repaired that time. Unlike in February 19, when my ankle snapped. Do you remember that? You felt awful. Longest 3 months of my life waiting to be repaired. My dial out of the sun, lifted from home with no assurance of return, but here I stand, stronger than ever and part of the town once more. Your mother may be gone, Chloe, but you're not alone. You live in a place that is rich in community spirit. Just look at me, standing here, repaired and loving the sunshine. Look for the warmth and generosity in people, Chloe. It is there. Come to the carnival, watch the crowds, all dressed up and cheering, smiling and waving. Or come see me at Halloween when I'm a pumpkin, or at Christmas you should see the children's faces when I'm dressed as Santa. Feeling proud of your town when I'm dressed for Remembrance Sunday. Observe the reverence. Your town, united through the respect for those that have made sacrifices for them. People do care. People are good. Look up from your phone and drink in the world around you. On that little screen. You can feel strong again, Chloe. I know it. Why don't you show me what you're made of? I'm not just cold bronze, you know. I'm basketry, wood, rope, and strips of foam. And then I'm cast in bronze. Under the surface, we're all made up of different things with different qualities. Like my basketry. We've been woven by life experiences. The good ones and the bad. They all play their part. Like foam, you have a softer side. Like wood, there is harder. And like my rope, you can entwine it all together and be stronger than you ever thought possible. Let all those facets be cast in bronze and shine. It took 6 months for me to be made. I shall always be the same, fixed and never changing, but you can change, you can evolve, and even though it could be many more years until you are complete, with time you will get there. If you keep on moving forwards one day at a time, and you will see a brighter future. I will stand right here for years, maybe until the next millennium. Or maybe not. I'll be here for as long as I'm wanted. And if I get knocked down again, I hope I always spring back, just like the people of Andover do in times of adversity. Just like you will too. Chloe, are you there? I can't hear your crying anymore, and no more phone pings. Have you gone? If it's true that you only came here when you're sad, then I just hope I never see you again. Except maybe on fireworks night. Or perhaps one day in the future when you have a baby to meet me. Chloe? Chloe?
Swim faster, me ducks. Look out for them trout pinching their oats from right under your noses. Beaks, I mean. Hilarious. I'm having a rum old day, Stucky. One funny thing after another. I pulls on in the lay-by and Bessie lifts her tail. Me mare, Bessie, back there, see? Anyway, Bessie lifts up her tail and drops a major shit. 2 minutes all it takes, then one after another, then a third div comes on shuffling up with their spades. The pond must have wafted on the breeze to them like that Bisto advert. All nice and polite they are, sliding up to me. They look out the corner of their eyes and stutter away. Was a time, it was fuck off Pikey and smelly Jippo. Now it's all please and thank you and hope I'm not bothering you, madam. Do I look like a madam? Two-faced lot of them. Nice as pie when they want something, and they're always wanting nowadays. So me ducks. The divs are asking for me permission to scoop Bessie's poop. Then they start squabbling. I got here first. Me veggies need this more than yours. Blah de blah. Soon enough, they're like the Three Musketeers crossing spades and swiping at each other. Of course, the biggest ends up scooping the prize. Made sure I got some potatoes in exchange, like. Oi! You there! Stop picking on your friends! Share nicely! Better. Good to have your company, me fair feathered friends. Being on my own takes some getting used to. Month and a bit since Eddie got himself splattered on the A303. Didn't think I'd miss him. But married ya, we did. My dad told me Eddie would do. And he did grow up on me. You don't think to look out for cars, see? They're scarcer than hen's teeth. Bullshit was. Electric, of course. Still a Porsche. Didn't stop. Cake with mud, as per. Bashed up, patched up. Still a Porsche. Didn't stop. Took him so long to die in my arms. Always fancied myself an E-type. When I won the lottery. Back in the day when petrol was a thing, me ducks. The one I had my eye on was tomato red. 265 horsepower. 265 times Bessie. Lucky piebald Bessie. the sweetest natured grey that there ever wore a bridle. Pulls me Vardo in there a grumble. You can't see the Magnifico paintwork on my Vardo from here. Flowers and squiggles and all. Oh, you got me, I'm lying, duckies. Paint's all peeling off. Too much work getting from day to day to fret about that now. Vardo belongs to Gaga, cousin of Eddie's. Mouldering in this shipping container in Gravesend it was. Eddie and me needed to get away, we did. Away from Shirley and Bobby's bickering, away from Aunt Ivy's moaning. Like a pilgrimage, this is. Visiting all the old places. Eddie's idea. He's gone now. Gotta keep it up, girl, he'd say to me if he was still here. Just because I'm in the ground, don't give you no excuses. He didn't get his funeral. Massive, mad gatherings they used to be once upon a time. So, this is how I honour me Eddie. Going from Atkin Town to Atkin Town. Talking to his ghost. Talking to ducks and all. In my Vardo. I've got a list of all the Atkin Towns, see? The dates next to each one. Years ago now. And how long it took for the governors to turn up. Flashing their lights, threatening to arrest us if we don't shift. Quickest time ever there was here. But you didn't know that, ducks. Reckon the piggies were stuffing their faces with donuts from the corner shop. It used to be just on the bend there. Goodies of all sorts you get in there. God, I miss donuts. And chocolate. Eating all the chocolate off a Kit Kat so you're left with a wafer. I can even hanker after a rich tea bicky with a plastic packet with a little stringy bit. You pull, take the end off. Gone. Gone for good. Enough to just keep myself and Bessie fed with any old obbin. No good wanting a bicky in these testing times. Testing times? It's a test being here. Get it? Test. A test. Quack if you get it. It's quiet when you don't quack. It's quiet everywhere. So quiet, I can hear Bessie snorting from here. Never thought I'd miss the sound of a 40-ton truck. All these bloody bicycles sneak up on you. Don't like it. Still makes me heart jump through hoops. Takes me back to my school days. Those snotty schools. How my heart used to jump. Sneaking up and chasing and hitting and all the time taunting all those chavs knew how to do. Remember me hiding in the library that time. Useful ammo there as well. Can still picture that complete works of Shakespeare landing on Bully Boy's head. Gets myself expelled again. But I learn libraries are good places. Gets to flicking through pages. And then words stick. Always have. Like flies on my sticky paper. Good thing I learned me to read. No TV or nothing now, but still plenty of books. I'd swap all the books in the world though to have me Eddie back. Boring the pants off me with his old yarns. Used to call him his yawns. I've set myself off, ducks. Eddie's yawns. I could write them down. Some cushy memories there. Like that time Big Tim tried to fix his toilet with sellotape. Should let me fix it. See, ducks, my dad did keep me doing chores and looking after the little ones. Gets me it if I leave the camp on my own. Called loving. So if I so much as look at a boy, but Dad could see how the world was turning, twisting out of shape. So he teaches me the boy stuff. Uncle Barry never talks to him again, mind. Stuff the old Uncle Barry. I know it all, I do. Welding, how to make a decent wing pad generator, even the racky stuff like sewing and keeping care of your things is a skill them div don't learn. So much useful stuff stored here. In the sharrow. Duckies. Why should I share any of this with the likes of them? They didn't do nothing for me. Just a can of water, bread if you take the baby along. Catch you now. Shh. I'm trying to think. Having to loan out Bessie keeps us both fed. But I hate it. Maybe there's another way. I could write a book. Like, for the Ganges, couldn't I? Susie's Guide to Make to Amend. Swap it for food, for things I need. They'll not get something for nothing. Not for me, no way. Perhaps I could swap my masterpiece. That silky shirt that Biddy's got on. Over there, ducks, look. See her? Shuffling along. Tough times. She's still wearing her pearls and haute couture by the looks of her. La-di-bloody-da. That shirt would suit me better. Swapping her twig bones it is. So thin. She don't look good now, does she? Wonder if she's dreaming of fargois and caviar, black forest gatto and lapsang souchong. Dawdle, that lined old face of hers is grey. Looks like me mum did at the end. That lost look in her eyes. Just like I reckon she'd settled for a proper roast dinner. Stay here, me quacker friends. I've got some more oats in me puts on. That Biddy's got barely the strength to lift her feet out of the mud. So perhaps she could feed you when I creep up. Distract you. So as I can pounce. Oh, I could roast you up with the puppies I got from the shit shoveler. A noble sacrifice it would be, my sweet friends. Okay, let's see what the Twiggy bid says, huh? Course, I want some clobber in exchange, like. Wish me luck, ducks.